I'm a big fan of the movie Goodfellas, and in that movie there's a scene where a guy gets shot and he goes into the pizza parlor, and young Henry Hill, the main character of the movie, helps the guy, gives him some aprons, and he helps stem the flow of the bleeding until the ambulance comes to help him out. And one of the more senior gangsters there turns around and says, "You wasted all these aprons on this guy who's nothing to do with them. We need to toughen this kid up. Gotta toughen this kid up." And that got me thinking about today's episode of the Daily Sales Message podcast. Gotta toughen this kid up. And we absolutely do. When you're cold calling, cold emailing, whatever you're doing, most people generally start with a wafer thin skin, and they take everything personally. So you get a snotty response from somebody, or on the phone they literally tell you to bugger off, or whatever it happens to be, and we take it to heart, and it really affects our activity level and what we're doing. And really, we just got to toughen this kid up. We've got to toughen you up, and you've got to recognize that if you are doing any kind of sales activity, you are going to be talking with more people that won't buy from you than will buy from you. For real. So if you have a 40% conversion rate, for example, 40% would be deemed a pretty good conversion rate for most people. If you imagine 10 people stood in a line, you ask 10 people if they want to buy from you, 4 of them say yes, but 6 of them say no. So more of them have said no than have said yes, but you're still technically classed as a success here because you've sold 40%. That's a fairly good conversion rate, depending on the industry that you're in. So you've got to toughen up, because you're going to get more no's and yeses. You're going to get more no's and yeses. People will be rude, they'll be dismissive, whatever. It's par for the course. Your ability to rise above that and to not let it touch you, is important. There's a great book that's relevant to this called The 4 Agreements. The 4 Agreements. And one of the most important agreements in those 4 is don't take things personally. Nothing other people do is because of you. It's because of their world, their perspective, the challenges they've got, so on and so forth. And we know that's true, because if you're driving along and you get annoyed when somebody cut you off, you're annoyed because you've just had a bad day most of the time. Not really anything to do with that driver, but you're taking it out on them. So you've got to toughen up. You've got to recognize that other people, when they're rude or short with you, it says more about them than it does about you. And your ability to stomach as much as possible of that negativity and to have as thick a skin as possible will put you in the best position to succeed when it comes to sales and selling. Right, that's it for this episode of the podcast. I'll catch you tomorrow for another exciting edition.